Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Kari, and today on Halloween I am going to be doing my October wrap-up. I'm not a big fall person or a big Halloween person, so the dark lipstick and these nice Maleficent ears that my sister got me are about my only contribution to Halloween that you will ever see. But enough about that. Happy Halloween, and let's get to the 6 books I read this month. So the first one was Dogs of God by James Reston Jr. That one was a nonfiction book about 1492 and the different strands that came together. So you have the Inquisition, you have Columbus going on his journey to explore the New World and all that that led to, and just everything that came together into the year 1492 as we know it. That was a pretty good book. It was pretty enjoyable. And then the next book I read was The Medievalist by Anne-Marie Lacey. This was an electronic ARC from NetGalley, and Medievalist is about a girl, Jane, from 2012, and then at the very end of the book it's 2017. And she goes back in time to the era of Richard III, about 2 years before his death at the Battle of Bosworth. Basically, it's her trying to figure out how to redeem Richard from the hunchback who killed his nephews trope that we know of him today thanks to Shakespeare. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I think it could have been good, or at least better, if it had been longer, but as it was pretty short. I will link my book review for that one down below if you want to hear more about it. The next book I read in October is Hunger, A Memoir of My Body by Roxane Gay. This book is the September-October book for Our Shared Shelf on Goodreads, started by Emma Watson. This book was hard. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was a good book. It was well written. I left a review of it on Goodreads if you want to check that out. I will also be doing a book talk on it a little bit later. But it was just very hard. If you don't want to read about rape or eating disorders, avoid this book like it's the plague. But that said, I thought it did a really good job reflecting on society and what society makes us do, especially as Roxane Gay is a Haitian American woman. So just her struggles through all of this, it gave a really poignant perspective to society, which I enjoyed, even if it was really hard to read. The next book was basically the complete opposite of that. It was really fun and light, with the exception of, Ragnarok possibly happening, and that was Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Ship of the Dead by Rick Riordan. This book was fantastic. I keep hearing that it's the last in a trilogy, and while I believe the other booktubers who keep saying it, I'm also really hoping that they're wrong because I don't want it to be the end. However, I think that's a pretty common feeling, that it shouldn't be the end, because I want more. But yeah, that was just a really fun book. It was just kind of fit perfectly in October, possibly the end of the world, and what with the Thor Ragnarok movie coming out, I think in a couple of days. It was just really fun. Also, I've been looking out for Magnus Chase for, well, since last October. The next 2 books I read for Victober, and they are Silas Marner by George Eliot and North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. Silas Marner by George Eliot is about an old crotchety man who loses all of his money, and then a child comes into his life and basically makes everything happy again. It was fine. It's definitely not one of my favorite books. It felt like it took forever to get through. And also the child doesn't come in until more than halfway through the book, and I understand that they have to set up why he's upset, Silas I mean, and what the child is going to do to make him happy, but just really not so much my thing. But it was a good read for Victober. And the last one is North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This one is a little bit longer. As you can see, it's about 430 pages. It's not a bad book. Again, not my favorite. I like Jane Eyre a lot more. This one just seemed to be a little bit slow moving. I had a really hard time getting through it because I just didn't care about the characters. They seemed pretty frivolous, I guess, and sort of meh. That said, I did actually really like the conversations they had. I love reading about characters who talk about the difficult things, such as the manufacturers in Milton and that kind of stuff. I also really enjoyed being able to draw parallels between the American North and South, specifically the industrial North versus the rural South, and then the British industrial North and the rural South. It was really fun to see those similarities, and also to see it through the eyes of somebody who was there. It was written in 1855, or published in 1855 at least. So I did enjoy that part. It just felt very long to me. But it could have also been the 17 commas in every sentence. You never know. Anyway, those are the 6 books that I read in October. I actually finished my TBR this month, so I'm quite proud of that. And that's all I got for right now. So I will see you again soon. Bye.